You can post on 850 and 640 if you want. Made some crossover there.
They're definitely under stress, you could tell, but more importantly is the way they've been handling themselves. They've been just really well mannered, and they're thankful.
And it sounds like there was a play.
You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Bremen Motor Cars in West Palm and Jupiter. A world-class experience. Visit BremenBMW.com. And by Wellington Anti-Aging. Low T? Go to WellingtonAntiAging.com. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
Yeah, baby. Got the hat backward. It's Friday. Yeah.
Hat backwards Friday.
Yeah,
Diener,
that's-
old man, hat forward
gotta
Friday,
roll it.
I guess.
It's kind of my look now to keep the hat forward. I don't know.
Yeah, everybody on KVJ today was, he walked in the studio and Virginia and Jaybird were in there. And they look and they thought that Diener was me because he's like pulling a single white female thing where he's like dressing almost exactly like me, like the same kind of like cargo shorts, baseball cap, V-neck tee. I mean, he's morphing.
Sandals. I got the sandals going.
He's got he's got like the flip flops. I mean, ever since we started doing this show together,
weird.
Diener is and he's trying to get the beard, and actually his beard looks a little better today than it has. It's like I think he's trying to get beard strength going. I
That's
don't know.
not saying much, but it seems a bit stronger.
Doesn't it?
Thank
yeah.
you.
does seem a bit
I'm
stronger.
trying. I haven't shaved it.
It
I want to
still
let it
looks
come in more.
absolutely horrendous, but
Oh.
it's a little bit stronger.
Yeah. If he comes in here on Monday in a Buckeye shirt, I'm freaking out.
Yeah, I would too. Well, yeah. Well, he's going to take
Yeah.
it off of the shrine to you he has in his room. That's why. Freaks out his
Listen.
children.
I swear, it's all coincidence. All right,
Uh-huh.
it's all coincidence.
Yeah.
This is my Friday casual clothes.
Yeah.
Sure, he's going over to Bremen after this.
Yeah. What would Kevin wear today?
Jason thought it was you a few times in the hallway today. He was very confused.
He's got the WWKD bracelet
Yeah.
on, everything like that.
A ton of stuff I want to get to here coming up this hour. Want to talk a little bit, of course. We'll talk some March Madness going on.
Yeah.
Sister Jean and the voodoo spell she has
Oh, my
going
God.
on at this tournament. Is she the best good luck charm ever? We'll discuss. We got a little bit of the Panthers action to talk about last night, or lack of
I was going
action
to say action.
last night. What's going on with Stoneman Douglas's hockey team and the Nationals? Their coach popping on to ESPN today. You hear a little bit of that. I say we got to start off today by talking about this is a big story for South Florida sports, arguably. I dare you to come up with somebody more influential in South Florida sports than Wayne Huizenga.
Oh, yeah.
The news coming out today that Wayne Huizenga has passed away at the age of 80. And if you're new to South Florida and don't know, I came in to South Florida kind of on I'd say the middle of his reign and everything that he did. I mean, he really kind of jumped in the early 90s into stuff. I was in the tail end of the 90s, but I still remember pulling out of a Dolphins game, stuck in that traffic and seeing his helicopter.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I
The
remember
man who
that.
built Miami.
Yeah, and Miami sports, arguably. And if you had to rank the greatest names or most influential names in South Florida sports, I put Wayne Huizenga at number one on the list because there's nobody else that has had their hands in South Florida sports like he has. He one time owned the Dolphins, Marlins, and Panthers.
Jeez.
All three. I mean, exactly. I mean, he's the
accomplished much?
He's the original owner of the Florida Marlins,
Yeah.
bringing baseball to South Florida in '93, wins a World Series 4 years later. Then, he was responsible for the first fire sale. He started that trend. When the NHL was looking to expand, Huizenga was there, started the Panthers, saw them find instant success. They went to the Stanley Cup Finals in '96. So, I mean, what an amazing run. '93, he brings in the Marlins, brings in the Panthers a couple years later. Then he winds up owning the Dolphins by slowly buying some chunks away from Joe Robbie. So, being an owner of three of the four major franchises in South Florida, I mean, you got to say Wayne Huizenga number one. If you're putting together the pantheon of great South Florida sports names, Wayne Huizenga is number one, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't think there's really anybody that compares.
You can't debate it. The debate comes, I think, if you're filling out a top five of the names, then you can start to debate a little bit. The names that I would think would be right at the top outside of Wayne Huizenga, Dan Marino, Dwayne Wade, Don Shula, Bob Greasy, and LeBron James.
Yeah, that's pretty comprehensive. I'd probably throw in Pat Riley. just for everything he's done for the Heat.
Yeah,
winning all the
okay.
games down here, helping to build those teams with LeBron and getting Bosh and the whole super team going.
Yeah.
Winning championships. So I'd throw Pat Riley in that mix, but man, yeah, I think trying to think of any more. That might be the list.
No one's going to even try to take on Wayne Huizenga #1, right?
I don't think so. I mean, because you mentioned he owned the 3 sports teams, but
Yeah.
he brought in two of them.
2 of the 3.
Right. So it's not
I
like
mean,
he took it over
establish
for
it.
somebody.
Right.
It's a pretty big deal.
We have those franchises because of Wayne Huizenga.
And not only that, this guy is responsible. When I was actually reading a little bit more about his history, and I didn't know, but he's responsible for really building up the city of Fort Lauderdale in general.
Well, he's got the Huizenga, park right down there
Yeah.
on the water. So, I mean, his name is all over Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is a dude that everything that he brought to South Florida, yeah.
Really looking into his career going even further back, I mean, he created Waste Management.
Yes.
Did he really?
He
Wow.
did.
He also was the reason why Blockbuster was a really big deal.
I
Yeah.
remember Blockbuster and Auto Nation.
And Auto Nation.
Yeah.
Like, the huge,
I didn't know
huge,
Waste Management.
massive companies.
Wow.
Yeah, Wayne Management. It's really funny because his grandfather actually started Waste Management. He would pick up garbage hauls in Chicago. He was a Dutch immigrant at $125 a thing. $1.25. I apologize. $1.25 a bucket.
Yeah.
And then Wayne Huizenga, when he took over, turned it into what is Waste Management today.
Okay.
Which is
Well, there you
insane.
go. All right. Well, that's how you got money to own 3
Yes.
sports franchises.
Yeah,
That helped.
exactly. Yeah.
A lot of money in that garbage there.
Very successful businessman.
And obviously Blockbuster, like you said. I mean, he's kind of a pioneer, too. I mean, you think
yeah.
back,
Without a doubt.
AutoNation, Blockbuster, things like that didn't exist
Yeah.
before he brought that in.
So sad the passing of Wayne Huizenga at the age of 80, but he is going to go down. And arguably, I don't know how you ever top what he's done for South Florida sports. Now, when you fill out the rest of the top 5, couple names you can't get in there, is Dan Marino #2?
This is where it gets tough. I think, man, he did a lot, but I think, honestly, if we're just going with athletes,
Yeah. You're not. You're going athletes,
We're not,
coaches,
okay.
anybody else who's a South Florida sports figure. And you're right. Pat Riley arguably might be ahead, possibly, because of championships and
Yeah.
what he's done. He's got, 3 championships with the Miami Heat? Pat Riley does.
Yeah.
right.
He can own all 3, but so does Dwayne Wade.
I think
But
Wade,
Pat Riley can own success with bringing in LeBron, too.
it's hard for me not to put Pat Riley #2.
Yeah, what did
right
Dan
below
Marino
Huizenga.
ever do?
Well, I mean, hey, look, hold on a second. Just
Oh,
because Dan
geez,
Marino
yeah.
didn't win a title, he was here. He was the man. He was Dan the man, all right? He was breaking all the records. He was Peyton Manning before Peyton Manning.
Well, what's impressive to me about Dan Marino, and one, too, I mean, a huge figure that was even in a big movie that, showcased
Yeah.
Miami. But, I mean,
Ace
he's,
Ventura, come on.
That was a great movie, too.
I mean,
You talk to the Dolphins, yeah?
Dan Marino's got his name hanging in American Airlines Arena.
That's right.
I mean, so
Yeah, so does Michael Jordan, though.
But yeah, a lot of franchises did that though in the
That's
NBA.
dopey, though. Come on.
yeah. I'll put Pat Riley, I think, at 2. Is Shula or Marino a bigger name?
I put Shula.
Shula ahead of Dan Marino?
Yeah, I mean, look at what Shula did. What did he win?
What do you mean? Why are you pointing at me? You're
He's
scaring me.
72. I mean, the only coach that has ever gone undefeated in the NFL. That's kind of big. And his steak joints are the bomb.
They are good. He does have a good steak.
Yeah.
Yeah, 72 Dolphins, couple of Super Bowl championships, most wins in NFL coaching history. Even though
job.
Belichick might pass that one day if he keeps going.
Who would you put at #4? Is it Dwayne Wade or Dan Marino?
I'm gonna put Wade at 4. I think Marino just makes it in at 5. I'm not discounting the greatness of Dan Marino. Okay.
I mean,
All right. I had a cutout of Dan Marino when I was a child.
is it
Okay.
the same size as the cutout of Kevin that you have in your room?
Dan Marino's taller.
Who do you want? He is a lot taller. You're right.
Short stack.
Do you put in Dan Marino or do you put in Bob Greasy?
I put Marino. I think.
I think we're really missing somebody here.
Who? Who do you got?
Schnellenberger?
Okay. That's
He's-
fair.
Yeah, but he's got one
He's
championship.
got a
72
statue sitting outside of a stadium.
He's got
here.
72 Dolphins. He's got the 83 Canes. He's got FAU, which okay. A lot of people. If you're talking about all of South Florida, though, south of Boca is not really going to care much about Schnellenberger at FAU. Not many.
Right. I mean, it's part of his legacy, but it's kind of more regional.
Yeah.
And Louisville, but that's not South Florida. But he did
No.
have a good career at Louisville. I think Dan Marino rounds at the top 5.
Wait, he had a great steakhouse that was in Boca too. Don't ever discount
It didn't-
Schnellenberg.
it didn't-
Steak does play a big part in this.
It
It
didn't
did
last
close
very
down,
long.
though.
Yeah,
it closed
it
down.
didn't.
Okay, but do you put LeBron James, who's got 2 championships, ahead of either Dan Marino and Bob Greasy?
Nobody from South Florida will ever put LeBron James in that conversation.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah,
No.
not a soul.
But you put in, if you're rounding out the top 5 biggest names in South Florida sports history, Marino goes in over Greasy.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Greasy was there, but you know what? Funny enough, when you look back on it, he wasn't even really. He didn't play that much. I mean, Earl Morrall was the quarterback for most of that season of the perfect season. I mean, Greasy
this
was
is true.
there. He's a legend of the Dolphins, but Marino, I think, is more important overall, even without the titles.
Okay.
Overall, to Dolphins history.
All right, so your top 5 goes Huizenga 1, Riley 2,
Yeah.
Don Shula 3, Dwayne Wade 4, and Dan Marino 5.
Yeah, that's my list.
Okay, all right.
No, we're just not giving any love to Schnellenberger whatsoever.
Look, Schnellenberger comes
No.
in at like around the 6 or 7 range.
I put him at 6.
I think it's fair.
He's got two South Florida titles, one with the Dolphins, one with but keep in mind he's only assistant. with
And
the Dolphins.
at the same time, I mean, not that I'm not giving love to Schnellenberger, because the guy, he started essentially the Hurricanes dynasty and building them up.
Thank
but
you.
it's just, I mean, listen to all
he
those
started.
names
He
we mentioned.
bailed quick, man.
did.
If he wouldn't have,
he knew
regretted.
when to get out. He's like, all right,
No,
this was fun.
What are you talking about? He knew when to get out. If it was a run off to the USFL, how'd that work out for
Terrible
you?
decision.
Yeah,
I'm
terrible
out of here. I'm going on to
decision.
this new big thing.
Yeah.
Trump,
Gosh.
Trump convinced him to go to USFL.
Yeah, if he'd have stayed, he arguably would be right behind Huizenga. Greatest sports name ever in South Florida.
Whatever.
Coming up,
Love his
the
steak.
greatest name in the NCAA tournament right now might be Sister Jean.
And Bosch is ahead of LeBron, by the way. Just throwing it out
No,
there.
he's not. You're
The only
crazy.
way that he makes it onto that list is if he dies.
All right, is Sister Jean the best good luck charm ever for a sports franchise or team? We'll discuss that next.
Yup, he's here too. It's Kevin's Other Show, right here on 640 The Hurricane.
Oh, how the mighty fell again. What do you expect in March Madness, though, man?
Florida State on a 22-11 run, which is their record, at least coming in. They were 22-11, but they're going to go to 23-11. They're going to go to the Elite Eight for the first time since 1993. Leonard Hamilton and the Seminoles.
And here's Gilgeous-Alexander for 3. No! It's over! Kansas State
Gosh.
has upset Kentucky.
That was your team.
Kansas State to the Elite Eight. And now the foul. Oh, the clock ended. Did he get it off? No. That's the game. That is the ball game. Loyola Chicago moving on to the
Again.
Elite Eight.
One of them said to me,
Yes.
Peyton said, "We broke your bracket, Sister Jean." I said, "I don't care that you broke my bracket. I'm ready for the next one." It's a great feat for Loyola University, and it's just so exciting. I can imagine how campus is now. But of course, we're going to stay here till Saturday.
Yeah, Sister Jean.
Yeah. You know what they're doing on campus, Sister Jean? They're hammered. You may not want to see what's going on campus, Sister Jean.
Don't tell her that.
What game surprised you the most with the upsets?
FSU.
Yeah.
I didn't pick FSU. I didn't pick any Florida schools to go anywhere in this tournament.
No, FSU, what they were doing. How'd they finish, too?
They were 23-12.
But
I
what did they
think.
do at the end? Weren't they a first round out bounced in the ACC tournament?
No,
Did I
they
just
were.
make that up?
No, you're right. I'm sorry. They were 22-11 or something like that. They actually
but
said
how
it
they
there.
finished was like, I mean,
They got killed.
right.
First round by NC State. They were destroyed. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, so nobody had them anywhere. I mean, they were a 9 seed coming in, and after what they did in the tournament, you're like, these guys aren't going to do anything.
I mean, you think about the road they've taken now. They win that first game against whoever the 8 seed was. I don't remember anymore. But then they beat Xavier. They
I
come
know,
back
right,
and win that
yeah.
game. and now they beat Gonzaga. What?
Yeah, quietly, and nobody's talking about Florida State because, they're such a brand name just because of football. But, I mean, basketball, it's like, to me, you got to start putting them up there as one of the most surprising teams in the tournament.
Was that first time since 1993?
Yeah, first Elite Eight since 93.
They came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Absolutely nowhere.
Not expecting that at all.
Was Charlie Ward on that team? He might have been on that team.
Yeah, he was. He was the point guard, wasn't he?
He was, right?
Yeah, he was.
Insanity.
Absolutely. Yeah, right?
Yeah. What?
Charlie Ward.
Loyola Chicago over Nevada. I was sleeping on that game. I wasn't stunned. I mean, this Sister Jean, she's unstoppable.
It's the Fighting Sister Jeans, the magic.
Yeah. Well, it's the way they're winning, too. It's not only that. They just, that's why people love March Madness, because the storyline, like Loyola Chicago. Nobody sees it coming. They're 11 seed. They've won 3 games by a total of 4 points.
Yeah.
And then you've got your
Which that's insane by itself.
It is. But then you got your little ornament that, is just right there. I mean, you could see, like, little Sister Jean dolls, like in a wheelchair with her scarf and everything else.
The only way that, they're going against, K-State now?
Yes.
The next one they're going to go against.
Mm-hmm.
Either them, they have to bring the Pope out. I think that's the only other.
Bring
out the bubble and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, Loyola Chicago right now, I would expect them to beat the 9 seed K-State. I'd think.
Mm-hmm.
Anything's possible now.
Anything's possible. Yeah.
I mean, you talk about the 11 seeds. Actually, Brandon Legg mentioned this at the beginning of the tournament. We had him on a couple weeks ago, and saying the 11 seed. It's happened before with George Mason and Virginia Commonwealth.
Yeah.
And now Loyola would be another 11 seed if they can make it to the Final Four.
You got every tournament now, yeah. When you do a bracket now, just take an 11 seed.
Might as well.
An 11 seed. 11 seeds do great, always.
Yeah, I see. I mean, I think Loyola now will just go through K-State.
Why not?
I mean, because I didn't expect K-State to beat Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
And then, boom, that goes over. So it's like you see Loyola the way they're playing, and also they have a little bit of Jesus on their side.
They have a lot of Jesus on their side at this point. There's something going on there.
It's nice to have that in your corner, right?
It really is.
Pretty good 6-man.
You know what?
Now off the bench.
You know what it made everybody do? Go home and pray. Tell you that right now.
Yeah, right.
There is not a team that is not having prayer circles before every game now.
There's a power.
It's a copycat league, right? So now watch all the other teams like Duke and everybody's going to start bringing in priests and praying over the players before the game.
I'd like to get your thoughts on the greatest sports luck charm of all time. Good luck charm. Sister Jean. She's going to be one of those names, faces you're going to see like in footage 10, 15, 20 years from now because of the run they had because of her. I was trying to think, okay, what are the ones that have like stood out? For me, the first thing I thought of being a Buckeye guy was back in 2014. There was this fan they had. His name was Jacob Jarvis. He's a kid that has muscular dystrophy, and they brought him out and kind of had him come out to a couple practices, and it just started, and then he starts popping up on the ESPN specials.
Yeah.
And Ohio State just has one of those things. It's always that story. They had one of their players that committed suicide that turned up missing. And so you got all these kind of things that's going on, the distractions that happen, and then you bring in the third-string quarterback, and they go into the Big Ten championship. And then that Jacob Jarvis becomes the face of just anything can happen. And the Buckeyes go on that year and win the national championship with a third-string quarterback. I got to put him up there. I
mean, that's huge.
He was their Sister Jean. Mm-hmm. That happens. To me, I think to be the good luck charm, too, because there's ones you can think of, like, you were talking about that Julia Dale Diener, that she was the little girl who used to sing the national anthem at all the Heat's finals games, and they won 2 titles with her singing the national anthem.
Yeah.
But the only thing, the Heat, a lot of times, that wasn't surprising.
No.
Like, to me, to be the good luck charm, you've got to look at an underdog that's got that hood ornament that's sitting there. I mean, there's a couple,
generating something that wasn't there before.
Well, there's a couple things that are happening here. There's a couple commonalities that we're seeing. Sister Jean, you got a team that's an underdog, the unlikely winner, and same thing with Ohio State. You've got a kid that is their unlikely winner outside. I mean, the Buckeyes weren't even supposed to make it in the Final Four. And then you got the wheelchair element. I think that's what it is.
It's huge.
Maybe it's just the wheelchair.
Maybe it is. I don't know. I think if you want to be an underdog and win, you've got to find a wheelchair-bound.
It's like everybody turns into a bunch of hillbillies. They see
those
the bright shining metal. They're like, oh my god.
That's what it is. There is a commonality that goes on here.
Yeah, I don't think your suggestion is very good, because if you think about it, it's like the little girl. She's a good luck charm. But also LeBron's there.
Yeah.
But no, it's not LeBron scoring 40,000 points a night.
They were the favorite. Yes, they were the favorite to win those games.
Every friggin' year.
But you had the Ray Allen shot in Game 6 against the Spurs. Maybe
I
Julia
will-
That
Dale
was
helped
just
with that.
skill. I was skill.
I will
Look.
never forget where I was when that happened.
Yeah, me too.
That was unbelievable.
I was like, I'm gonna watch this happen. I'm gonna watch them lose. Finally.
Nope.
Stupid Ray Allen.
Yep, we won. Sorry.
Any other thoughts on that? Y'all can tweet at us at 640 the Hurricane. You also can do something that's really cool too on our app, 640 the Hurricane. Got this open mic feature. You can go on there and you got 10 seconds. You can just drop some audio on us.
I heard
and
that's really cool.
Yeah, it is very cool. And you can like pop in, drop some audio, and then we can play it on the show. Like, here's an example.
Nice.
This is like something that you could do like 10
we got
seconds.
one.
Yeah. So this is like from the open mic feature on the 640 the Hurricane app, a free app to download.
Hey guys, love the show. Listen every single day on the podcast and watch it on YouTube. Just want to say, Diener, shave that f***ing beard.
Whoa!
Peace.
Yes. You can even swear on it too.
What
I mean,
was that?
there was a lot of sense made in that, but that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool feature.
A lot of things you can do with that.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
Very
so
nice.
Download the app. Use it. Check it out.
Don't be mean to me.
No, be mean to Diener.
I was kind of bummed. Did you see that FAU hired a new basketball coach?
I saw that yesterday, and I was going to text you. I was like, man, what a
Gosh.
disappointment. I mean,
So
I don't want to say
disappointing.
that because
No,
I mean,
it
like,
is.
it'd be, yeah,
it's
it is. It's a
disappointing.
disappointment.
It's disappointing, and I don't know. I mean, hey, you know, I hate to down this new dude, Dusty May.
Whoever
What?
you are.
Dusty May, yeah.
This sounds like a female wrestler.
Dusty May.
Dusty May.
Of course,
He's-
wrestling.
he's been an assistant with the Gators for a while, and here's the whole thing that I don't know. It feels like a little too close, too easy of a hire for me. The new AD at FAU, his brother is the basketball coach at Florida, and this is one of his assistants. It's like it just doesn't feel lazy.
Yeah.
It feels like, oh, okay, hey, yeah, I kind of know this guy because of my brother. It's like, hey, man, I got to hire a basketball coach. You got anybody over there? Dusty May?
got this guy, Dusty.
Yeah.
He likes Florida.
I don't know. I mean, you know, he's
Nepotism much?
Yeah,
he's
that's what I was
talking
gonna
him
say.
up, and he's like, ooh, fluffing him, but it's like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
We wanted
Good
the Rick
luck,
Pitino.
Dusty.
I want a Rick Pitino. I wanted
Yeah.
that. I wanted that big splash. I want something exciting.
Well,
you
you
know?
never know. This guy might like hookers too.
True. We might find that out.
Yeah, to be funny, he needs to come and have a scandal right away.
Yeah, exactly.
Come
Go.
in, do something that's exciting.
Just tell him to head right over to Nippers,
yeah,
and he'll have a great time.
yeah. Nothing that gets me going. So
I mean, Rick Pitino would have been the nice splash. That's what happened with Lane Kiffin. You know, Lane Kiffin was coming off a little bit of controversy himself, and now he's doing great. The Lane train is running strong. Don't be afraid, FAU. There's still time. All right,
To get
Dusty May.
Pitino?
Yeah, Dusty May. You won't hurt his feelings. His name is Dusty May, for goodness sakes. All
you
right.
got a lot to prove.
Yeah, you
Got
still
a lot
got
to
Pitino.
prove. Yeah, I'm not feeling it so far, but we'll see.
He's gonna be down at TW's and in West Boca out there.
Coming up, just saw something flash across the screen. Might be good news for the Miami Heat. They got a game going on tonight. Going to be in Oklahoma City. Break that down. What the heck are the Dolphins doing today? It just feels like they're drinking and just, I don't know, pulling things out of their butt and let you know what is coming out of their rectum. And then we'll spend all of about 3 seconds on the highlights from last night's Panthers game because they ain't much.
Yeah.
And also, what did Stoneman Douglas's hockey coach have to say on ESPN today? You hear that audio coming up next.
Be part of the show on Twitter at 640 The Hurricane, hashtag Kevin's Other Show.
I don't like bands that try to say that they've got a reunion going on and then they conveniently leave like a big piece of that reunion out. Have you heard like with the Smashing Pumpkins? You know, they tried to kind of like say, hey, we got everybody back together. And everybody's like, oh, wow, cool, including your bass player? Oh, no, not her.
She was awesome.
Yeah, she was awesome, but she's never going to rejoin the band again because,
Well, let's be honest. Everybody just went for Billy Corgan anyway. So
yeah, Billy Corgan said that their relationship is forever dead.
Ouch.
Yeah.
They were together at one point, weren't they, or no?
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know. She's so happy now she's not.
Yeah.
yeah, he's a little Jack Skellington looking.
No, he is. He's a freaky
pretty
looking
scary dude.
He was actually, my brother saw him one time at the Fridays in Boca, the one they just replaced
Turn
with
into
Duffy's.
Duffy's.
Yes.
Which I love Duffy's. Go say hi to Josh.
Yes, there you go. He was really scary in person.
Really?
Yeah, like even more freaky looking than the videos.
Can I have some wings?
Yeah, really scary.
Extra blue cheese.
Nosferatu type of guy.
Oh God, nobody says Voldemort.
Last night was a bad night for the Panthers. I mean, I don't know how else to shake it around, but
They did great at losing though.
yeah, my gosh, wow.
It was pretty good.
The other day we were playing a montage of like 7 goals, and I'm like, gosh, we're here forever.
Yeah, exactly.
The montage of last night's goal is going to go by really quick. Let's do it. Okay, here we go.
Yep.
Yep, that's basically it right there.
That was it. Yeah, zip.
Yeah.
Got blanked.
Yeah, was it Barkov? Not Barkov. Huberdeau only had 2 shots on goal. And then I think it was, I can't remember, I think Davinoff also had 2 shots on goal.
Yeah.
They had no chance last night.
It's a butt whooping. 4-zip.
It was horrendous.
Yeah. They got blanked. I think Blue Jackets beat them 3 times this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they've won it every occasion at this point in time. But they lost, but they're still only 1 point behind the Devils.
Which is incredible.
Yeah.
I can't believe that they're still that close.
With still 3 games in hand.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you never know what's going to happen at that point in time, but they got shellacked last night.
Yeah, I don't know.
They ran out of goals. I mean, I don't know. They scored too many the other game.
Blue Jackets are, tough. I mean, right now they're rolling. That was their 10th straight win.
Amazing.
Yeah. Panthers got 10 games left, so, who knows.
Anything could happen at this point in time, and the way they've been playing normally, it's before the beginning of the season. The beginning of the season.
You okay?
The beginning of the season, this was the norm.
Yeah.
And then now they flipped that this is an abnormality.
True.
So it's okay. It's going to happen every once in a while, but it's like you can't keep doing this because you only got 10 games left. You're 1 point behind. This is your time to be able to make some noise.
You got the Heat tonight. They're heading off to Oklahoma City, taking on the Thunder.
Good luck.
You're not feeling it?
I just don't know. It's after the absolute destruction of a game that happened with Westbrook the other night when he was in garbage time and decided that he was going to just chuck up a 3 instead of getting a foul. That team has been kind of on the edge with each other, so I have a feeling the team chemistry is going to be a little bit bad. But I don't think Westbrook's going to make any mistakes when it comes to this team. So.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's probably going to be another shellacking for a South Florida team.
Wow, that's a bold prediction
well,
right
I'm
there.
just saying because if you look at Westbrook, Westbrook is very competitive, super, super competitive.
True.
He makes a big mistake that even the announcers at the game were saying, "Wow, that was really bad."
Yeah.
He's not going to make that mistake again. You're going to see him play with some precision.
Did you guys see that little blurb I saw just a second on the TV about Kyrie's getting a little procedure on the knee?
Very interesting.
Minimal surgery.
They can go in and scope it, and a guy can come back a couple days later. So I don't know how much to read into that, but I mean, it's just letting you know that what he's got going on now is not good.
And we were saying like going against the Heat, going against either the Cavs or the Boston Celtics, you have the head case in the Cavs, and you have the knee case in the Boston Celtics. But I mean, this is a little bit more of a sign that this could be a bigger issue.
Yeah, because that was one of the bits of speculation was okay, how far along is Kyrie going to be when the first round comes on, and now all of a sudden. With the surgery, they're saying it's minimal.
Yeah, still.
But we don't know the timetable. And now it's really a concern if you're a Celtics fan. And maybe for the Heat, you want to say, okay, let's try to stay in 7. It might be an easier matchup.
What do you got, 11 games, something like that, until the playoffs?
10?
Somewhere around
10
there?
games.
10 games?
10, yeah. 10,
okay.
10 or 9, because I thought it was 10 games the last game. I might think it might be 10 after the
Yes.
last game. Yeah,
Okay.
Yes.
All right, it's getting there, though.
You know what, for me, though, the competitor in me, I still want to see Heat Cavs. I want to see the Heat move up to 6. Face the Cavs, have LeBron against Wade. I know Boston might be the easier matchup right now.
Yeah.
But that would just be so much fun.
But I mean, honestly, it's like I agree with you. Like I'm not obviously, but as a Heat fan,
yes,
it would make more sense to you because you want the theatrics. You're not going to win a damn championship this year, so you want to see the show.
Yeah, let's have some fun.
The Kyrie-less Boston Celtics, which you'll probably still lose to. It's like you don't want to get beat by that.
It's true. No, I'm even more convinced now. I want to see them face the Cavs.
Yeah, it makes more sense.
Ultra's going on this weekend. Bayfront Park going to be shut down. Little heads up. If there's anything it brings good, it's DJ Shaq.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I was
DJ Shaq.
Say, what the hell could it bring? That's good.
You're going to see Shaq's Funhouse Saturday. It's going to be going down.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, I guess that's the whole thing. I think it's this Saturday. He's going to be performing and I guess coming out there. David Guetta, Chainsmokers, Afrojack. Apparently, he's going to be jumping out with them.
What?
So.
What's really weird about that is like when you go to see a DJ, like you can't understand 90% of the things that they say through those big speakers and everything like that. You already can't understand Shaq. His voice is so low.
Yeah.
Through those big speakers. Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be like the brown note. Everybody's gonna just crap their pants.
He's so slow though, and EDM's so fast. Like it just doesn't seem it's going to match.
I don't know. I mean, he's gonna have to do a line or something like that in order to be able to get to the hype of everybody else. I mean, but that's probably the reason why he's bringing out people like Afrojack and Steve Aoki coffee and stuff like that because they're gonna need it.
Yeah, gonna help him out.
They're
Paris
gonna
Hilton's
come
gonna
out
be
there
in town too.
Oh Lord.
I am staying far away.
Why does anybody want to go to that? It looks like an absolute hellhole there.
No, it's bad. It's bad. I don't want to be anywhere near there. I've heard plenty of horror
Tell us
stories.
your days of going to Ultra there.
No, I don't like to talk about Ultra.
With the
My
forward
days.
cap and the cargo shorts
Exactly.
and the sandals.
Dolphins moves, pulling a few more out of their behind. What do you think? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Stocking the Antiques Museum.
Frank Gore, thumbs up, thumbs down. 34-year-old running back, probably future Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah, 100% future Hall of Famer. And, I mean, I think he's averaging 900 yards per season.
Yeah, down obviously last year. Colts let him go.
No, I'm cool with it. I mean, I also heard that Larry Zonka and Jim Kick were available too. So
Okay.
the Dolphins want to take a look at them. Let's go for
Speaking of Dan Marino.
it. Yes.
Yeah, feel good about this. I'll give it a thumbs up. I'm okay with it.
No, I'm
I
fine.
think he's basically coming in to get.
It's a cool story.
Yeah, I think it's there to give the younger dude a little bit of guidance, and
Yeah.
because apparently his work ethic is not great, so they need to get Drake, kind of.
Well, he's also like 85, too. So,
Yeah.
I mean, this is his 14th season or 15th season?
He's going to be going into his 15th. No, all kidding aside, it's a great story. I mean, his son plays high school ball down here.
Yeah.
He's coming back home. He played high school here. This is where his
Coral
roots.
Gables, right?
Right. And obviously played for the Canes, one of the best running backs they ever had. So it's cool. I'll take it.
Yeah, but you want a story or want to win? This is what I never understand. It's like, who gives a crap about the story?
Listen, it's inconsequential.
The story
I
might
mean,
help with the win. Maybe if you get the younger guy,
You get the Sister Jean effect? Is that
Yeah.
why?
yeah.
put him in a wheelchair.
Yeah! He's going to end up in one by the end of the season. I promise you
Frank
that.
Gore in a wheelchair, baby. Bring on the wins.
Bring back the fullback in the formation and just have him push him right up the hole in the wheelchair.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be great. Untouchable.
Brock Osweiler coming in, possibly. Nah. Thumbs down. They just say they want
I
maybe.
can't believe you asked if that was a thumbs down.
You might as well punched me in the stomach just now when you said that. That's what it felt like.
Well, they're trying to pass it off that okay, they want a veteran backup or at least somebody with some experience.
So
Matt
they
Moore's
got
gone.
Osweiler?
I mean, he had years. He had
Yeah.
a
He had
year.
years.
He had a
Yep.
year.
Mhm.
He had a year.
Half a year.
He got
year.
a big contract and then but who knows? Maybe he's got it in him. Okay. You're not feeling
All
that
right,
one.
good luck. No, I
No.
think this is a horrible idea. Way to make this any crappier than it already is. Let's bring in Brock Osweiler.
I just got so depressed. I just got so sad at thought of seeing,
a Dolphins fan.
Yeah, that's true. Of seeing Brock Osweiler in a Dolphins. I don't want him anywhere near this organization. Get away.
That's going to be so great.
Coming up here, possibly more problems for ESPN. We talked about some of the drama going on there. We'll discuss a little bit more, and I still got that audio for you to hear what Stoneman Douglas hockey coach Eric LaForge had to say on the network earlier today. Coming up next.
Can't wait to break down last night's game? Yeah, not. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
We rail on Ultra, and then he brings out the EDM.
You know what? I changed my mind. I'm feeling ultra now.
You are,
Kevin's
huh?
Other
Yeah.
Show going to be live in Ultra. We're going to do all the ecstasy.
Live on Molly, baby.
Yeah. There we go.
There'd be no talking. It'd just be us petting each other.
Pet the
Diener,
fuzzy
your
wall.
beard, man. Your beard is like
Really
I don't
coming in.
know.
That'd be
It
when he
looks
finally
horrible,
shaved
but
it.
it feels great, man. It looks bad, but
Why do you look like a ball?
it feels so soft. It's so weird, man. Wow.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
The other day,
Sandstorms.
we were trying to figure out what the heck is going on. They had announced some moves over at ESPN, the network, a network that just keeps losing its monolithic talent that it had built itself up upon. And there's all this talk about moving everybody over to ESPN News, I guess, saying, it's done for convenience. And boy, man, the stories came out right away about how much Mike and Mike still love each other. And, Greenberg listens to Gullick and Wingo every single day. And
I wake up and brush my teeth to you
love
guys.
him. I love him so much. I just want to do a show with him.
They miss
love
each
him
other
so
so
much.
much.
Yeah, that's probably not true at all. I don't understand how they could like each other.
When you saw how much Greenberg is making, $6.5 million a year. Now, I don't know with all the bouncing around what all this means because, Greenberg is going to be over on the Big Dog, the main network. In fact, they're bumping like SportsCenter to put him on the TV.
Yeah.
And they did have Gullick and Wingo. I think, were they on ESPN2? And they're going to be just
They were on regular ESPN.
Were they on regular ESPN?
Regular ESPN.
No, I think they were on ESPN too, right?
Really? I could have sworn they were on regular ESPN.
I thought they were on the Deuce.
The Deuce? Maybe
the Deuce.
The Ocho.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. I really have no idea anything about this show.
Well, they're trying to make everything convenient. So they're going to be moving Golic and Wingo over to ESPN News. Then they've got Levitar. They're going to be taking over. And then this Will Kane show. They're going to be bumping
That's
over
the
there.
guy that I was telling you about. This
Yeah.
guy. This guy is.
You think this guy's going to be good, though?
He
like
is
this
good.
dude?
He's kind of like anti-establishment, anarchy type of guy. I love.
You
it.
love anarchy.
Yeah, I
So
love
is he like their Clay Travis type? Is that what they're
Sort
trying
of.
to
That's
do?
what they're trying
Okay.
to combat. They're trying to do the Clay Travis of ESPN.
Gotcha.
Well, they got him on from 3 to 6. Clay Travis is on in the morning, isn't he?
Yes.
Well, yeah, but they want that personality in order to be able to.
They
do
want to
that.
build around him.
Yeah, because
so
they're
that
still riding with.
Fox Sports can steal him later.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Like, they're just going to build him up just for him long enough to either go to NBC or Fox Sports or something
ESPN's
like that.
turning into the Marlins now.
I was
Yeah,
about
exactly.
to say.
They bring up a talent, then when they got to make some money, then they go over to Fox Sports.
Get rid of
It's
him.
true.
Well, now this might be a crazy shocker. Levitard. There's rumors that he might be bailing on ESPN too, heading over to Sirius XM, taking a show there exclusively, which means you wouldn't be hearing him on any of the ESPN outlets anymore, and you wouldn't be seeing him on ESPN News. He would be gone. Everything would be going over there.
Another one bites the dust.
I don't know what they'd have to offer him. I mean, it's Sirius XM because where's your TV element? Is there any TV element there?
That's what I was trying to think. Is like, are Sirius XM trying to make a play for a television network? Because I know one thing is that Spike TV changed to Paramount TV when they had that whole acquisition between ABC and Fox.
Right.
So they're hemorrhaging money. Could Sirius be going in and saying, listen, we'll take Paramount TV off of your hand, turn it into Sirius TV, and start putting their radio shows on TV?
I can't see. I mean, because, Levitard not only having his radio show on there, has got Highly Questionable. Is that him? Or
Highly
what's he-
Questionable, yeah.
Okay, he's got Highly Questionable there in the afternoon. I mean, he's all over ESPN. He's. I mean, right now, Levitard's basically the face of ESPN, I think, for the most part.
I mean, he's the most successful radio host there.
So, I mean, but he would lose the TV element, right? I mean, at least when I'm reading, it
Maybe.
sounds exclusively, unless he works out a deal where he's only going to take the radio part over to Sirius XM, and then ESPN still maintains the TV broadcast
Could
rights.
Sirius XM be buying ESPN?
No way, right?
They're
Now
also hemorrhaging money. ESPN has been doing very, very bad for a while. Every single quarter, they're offloading hundreds of employees.
I thought I read Sirius is even trying to get their mitts into iHeartRadio. Are there? Or is that? Or is?
Well,
I heard that
yeah,
too.
they've just filed for Chapter 11,
Yeah.
so
So
there's a lot of people trying to get in their bits on that.
Okay. I don't know. That's kind of the reports going on, but to me, it doesn't totally add up. I can't see Levitard giving up the TV part.
Yeah, it could be a big power move for him just to get a bigger contract from ESPN.
That's what I'm thinking. It might be that, but also at the same time, it could really work out well for him in the fact that he is an anti-establishment guy, and he always butts heads.
Yeah, exactly. If he could be like the complete outlier of sports and just be the curse everything and do whatever he wants, because now he has somebody that actually listens into his show, every show that he has, in order to be able to stop him from doing and saying dumb things.
So might be a nice
knows?
outlet with XM if that's something he wants to do. I'm trying to think. Was Howard Stern on TV when he went to XM? Sirius?
He had that thing on E. He was on E there for a while, and I can't remember when that ended and how that crossed over.
I'm
But
trying to remember how it
that
crossed
would have been
over.
unrelated because it wasn't like, the radio and TV are at ESPN are together.
Yeah.
For the most part, and he hadn't dealt with that. So
Yeah, I can't think of a station that would be able to run it, especially because it's sports too. Unless it's the Audience Network.
It might be where Dan Patrick is
The
now.
Audience Network runs Dan Patrick, but they run in the same. They run in the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, something on the TV network earlier today, they had a quick little interview with Stoneman Douglas hockey coach Eric LaForge was on there. They took the Panthers plane up to Minnesota, and here's what he had to say earlier today.
Eric LaForge, the Stoneman Douglas
Yes.
coach, joining us today on SportsCenter. Sounds like there was a players-only meeting or something that happened. Tell us about that.
Something they've talked about that's been batted around lately is, calling it a miracle. But one of the things that I pointed out to the boys that they've basically had this in them all along, and they just kind of got together and decided to play hockey in that semifinal the way they can. So it wasn't anything magical. It's something that's been there in them, and they just came together as a team.
What stands out to you about what your team has done?
Just the way they've stayed together. The games haven't worked out the way we would have preferred to, but they never quit. They played together as a team, and we finished strong in each of the 2 games in spite of the final score.
Eric, we're all watching. We wish you the best. Keep going.
All right, there you go. You want to keep track of what they're doing there in the Nationals. We'll get that posted up on our Facebook page, 640 The Hurricane. You can follow. You can catch this show. It's on demand anytime on YouTube, Kevin's Other Show. And you can go on ahead and find it too, podcast, and download it anytime, Kevin's Other Show.
You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Wellington Anti-Aging. Low T? Go to WellingtonAntiAging.com. And by Bremen Motor Cars in West Palm Beach, a world-class experience. Shop BremenPorsche.com now. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.